Good afternoon. I'm going to be recording a very brief 15 to 20 minute segment of beginning yoga poses that I've taught some of my clients or possibly even patients. I'm going to try to offer you the similar verbal cueing that I offer to you when you're with me one-on-one. So we will begin in child's pose. Remember, knees are separated, toes together, hips are back. Feel free to use a block if you need to. Walk your fingertips to the left. And then gently to the right. Coming back to the center. Inhale to your first tabletop position, making sure that you are balanced through your spine, you find length through your crown, your elbow is soft, not locked out, and the face of the elbow is forward. Your palms are spread wide, and we'll begin with your first cow, moving your tailbone first, inhaling, exhaling to cow. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. Notice that the spine rolls one vertebrae at a time. The tailbone begins the movement, the head is the last to move. We will settle right into tabletop, bringing that navel or belly button into the spine so that you're engaging your transverse abdominis. Right arm lifts, left leg lifts for spinal balance. Lifting the inner thigh more than the outer thigh so that the toes point to the mat. You're reaching forward through your hands and pressing your heel to the back wall. Exhale, tap the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. And then slowly lower. Repeating that on the other side. I'm going to forgo that other side at this time, but I'm going to let you guys do that at home on your own, so you can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to then just skip straight to thread the needle. Right arm will rise. Notice my hips stay over my knees. Exhale, tapping the right shoulder blade to the mat. Inhale, pressing through your hand, lifting up. Your gaze follows that top hand. Exhale down. One last time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, tapping down and settling in. Using a block if you need to for your head. Pressing the left hand into the mat. Hips are squared. Maybe take the left arm over your head. And breathe. Gaining more range of motion, more twisting with every exhale. Inhale, coming right back out. And then we're going to go through jump roping of the spine, or ringing the bell. And it's as if you are drawing a circle on the back wall. Notice I'm taking my hips to the right, into cat, to the left, and cow. My thighs are not moving. And then change directions. This shows you all the movement you have or don't have in your low back. And then come right back to the center. Let's go through down dog prep. So tuck your toes, and some of you, we can also walk back to get a little bit of a toe squat, a little bit of toe flexibility, and this also is a good time to kind of just range your wrists, take some pressure off of them, and then come right back forward Coming into down dog prep. Toes are tucked, knees lift only an inch. Notice that my back is in spinal neutral, not cat nor cow. And then I just rock forward and back. And then rest. I'm going to bring my blocks closer because I do believe that most people need to use blocks in down dog because of tight hamstrings. This brings the ground up to you, relieving some of the stress on the hamstrings. I'm going to take my hands to the blocks. I'm going to come into down dog prep once more, and then into high plank. Notice shoulders over elbows over wrists, head is lifted, shoulder blades come together. There's an L shape at my ankle. If this is difficult for you, simply drop to your knees. No problem. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, find your down dog. Adjust as you need to. Use the blanket as you need to. If the calves or gastrocs are tight, bring those blankets under your heels. Bend one knee and then the other, nice and slow. And when you're ready, soften your knees, look between your hands, and just simply walk your hands up. Bring your feet up to the hands, hands to your knees. Inhale, rise all the way to mountain. Exhale to your heart. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale. One more. Inhale, rise. And exhale. Forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Notice that the weight is centered in the middle of my feet. My shoulder blades are coming away from my ears and together on my spine. I am in a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and hold here. If this is uncomfortable or makes you nervous for any reason, you can always stay in flat back. Remember, my navel is pulling into my spine, so the transverse abdominis is working. You can stay here for several breaths, but for time purposes, I'm going to move on. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and step back to either a high plank or modified. We're going to lower down through a yoga push-up or chaturanga push-up. Elbows brush the rib cage, shoulders come away from your ears because you have your arm spiral. Inhale to a baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Modified plank or high plank. Back to child's pose. We'll repeat. Inhale to modified plank or high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower. Modified plank, child's pose. That's a modified sun salutation. It's nice to get warmed up. Inhale back to the center. Use your blocks because we're coming into down dog. High plank. That gives you your position of your hands and feet. And then you lift your hips and find your down dog. We're going to slowly walk to the top of the mat. And inhale, roll all the way up. If for some reason you've been told not to roll all the way up, then just simply come up to a standing. Our right leg will lift for that stork pose, and we will step straight back for crescent lunge. The back leg is strong but soft. The front knee is bending. The feet are hips width apart. And then you simply open to warrior two. Left knee is moving over my left toes. My face of the elbow is up and then my palm is down. Slowly flow back to peaceful warrior, keeping your top shoulder, my left, rolled back. Don't let it collapse forward. Inhale back to warrior two. Straighten that front left leg and turn those toes towards the mirror for a wide angle forward fold. I have a mirror in front of me, you guys can't see it. Clasp the hands behind you. Roll your shoulder blades back, soften your knees, and slowly forward fold. Notice my back is flat. I'm hinging at my hips. Slowly lower my hands down to the floor in front of my face. And you can then go from side to side, if that is comfortable. You can also add that on the other side. And then come back to the center. Let's turn a quarter turn to the front of the mat. Gently lower your back right knee, coming into a modified crescent. Notice I am in neutral spine. My belly button is pulling in and up. I'm using my transverse abdominis. If you need a blanket underneath your right knee, please feel free. My feet are still on those railroad tracks. My left is on the left, my right knee is on the right. I will lift and take my cow arms, using a strap here if I need to. But notice my left elbow is to the ceiling, my right elbow is to the floor. Hold this for 5 full breath counts. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, exhaling 2, 3, 4. Gently release, using your blocks, coming into a modified intense leg stretch. Left leg is forward. My weight is evenly distributed between my left heel and my right knee. My toes are coming towards my nose. I'm lifting my sternum or chest bone. I'm lifting, and I'm pulling my left hip down and back. And of course, I'm breathing. Remembering our first rule, if you cannot maintain your nice fluid breath during your postures, then you should use more props or not be as aggressive in the pose. If you want to apply a twist here, hand can come to that block, hips are still squared, left hip is pulling down and back, left arm is reaching to the sky above my right arm. And then I'll slowly come back to the center. Coming back into my crescent lunge, lifting my right back leg, finding revolved side angle. Right hand is down, left arm lifts. Make sure you scoot your left foot over enough for your hips to settle in. Face of the elbows are forward. My left hand is reaching tall over my right, and my right back leg is strong. And then we come back. Coming into tabletop, and possibly to child's. And rest for a few breaths. And then let's see if you guys can take that through on the other side without my help. I think you can do it.